Mayoral Memo with Matthew Dickerson from Dubbo Regional Council.
Catching up with Mayor of the Region, Mr. Matthew Dickerson. Dubbo Day today, I believe. The day that we became
a village. That's right.
village.
We have grown from that village. We were a village in 1849, the 23rd of November 1849. We were officially proclaimed a village. At the time, we had 4 buildings and a population of approximately 47. So we have grown somewhat since then. It took us a little while before we became a municipality. That was 1872. Our first mayor was in 1872. And here we are now, a thriving regional city. Yeah. But we celebrate Dubbo Day, and we've got the Dubbo Day Awards tonight.
I wonder how many of those 47 people are still here.
1849, probably only 3 or 4 of them.
Back then, the floods still affected the small bridge.
Yeah, I bet.
The small logs across the river.
Yeah. Well, so you've got some awards tonight.
So we do the Dubbo Day Awards back in the sesquicentenary. Try saying that a few times, or maybe after you had a couple of drinks.
No.
In 1999, the first Dubbo Day Awards were held as a recognition of the wonderful 150 years we'd had at that stage. And it was so successful, we said, well, I didn't say, I wasn't there at the time, but the community said, why don't we do it every year? So we now do the Dubbo Day Awards on the 23rd of November every year. So tonight we've got a number of people who will be recognised. It's a little ceremony we do. It's not over the top, it's just a small ceremony, but we recognise those people that have been making a great contribution to Dubbo. Open to the public if you want to come along. It's a 5:30 start for a 6 o'clock official ceremony start. That's at the DRTCC. And normally we get the award winners and some of their family and friends that come along, but it is open to anyone if you want to come along and see who's been making a contribution to Dubbo over the last year.
Do you get to wear your chains?
Dubbo Day Awards, what better excuse would I need to wear the chains?
I'll wear them around the house.
Obviously, one of the reasons people love living in Dubbo is because it's quite transparent from all levels of the running of the region, from obviously yourself, the mayor, and then obviously we've got Dougal Saunders, and then if you want to go even higher, we get Federal Member for Parks Mark Colton, and you guys are having another one of these community breakfasts where everyone can come and see all 3 of you in one spot.
Congratulate you.
Yes.
That's it. This is unique. We've talked about it before. This is unique across the nation. Nowhere else in the nation do you get access to the representatives from the 3 levels of government in an open forum on a regular basis. So we've got Mark Colton, Dougal Saunders, myself, fellow councillors, some senior council staff, all at the Rotunda on Saturday morning from 7:30 to 9:30. People can just walk up and say good day. They can tell us what a wonderful job we're doing. They can give us some of their brilliant ideas on how we could do things just a little bit better. And you'll even get maybe a free coffee, maybe a egg and bacon roll, maybe a bit of free breakfast even.
So it actually is for all the guff. It actually is really great. Yeah. I think it's great that they turn up, because you can't just turn up and just start talking to these people who represent you. In the different parliaments and councils and all the rest of it. And that's democracy.
Yeah, and it is actually this really open environment where sometimes people say, oh, it's so hard to get in to see your local member or your councillor or whatever it might be. But there they are. They're just standing around, and we love it. We get lots of people turn up. Typically at these events we'll get maybe 60, 80, even 100 people turn up. Depends if there's some burning issues at the time or if things are going along quite nicely. But it's
said
really
free bacon and egg roll. That's good enough for me.
That's my burning issue. My burning issue is breakfast.
Yeah, we can't have any waste of those bacon and egg rolls.
No, well, you make sure you turn up to take advantage of that. But it is that great opportunity. And even if you don't make it on the day, just the fact that you could have come along, I think people appreciate the fact that it is such that open and transparent environment.
Tourism Awards. The Central West did an amazing job, especially Dubbo.
Dubbo did an amazing job. It's the first time I've been to the New South Wales Tourism Awards. It was at Luna Park. Unfortunately, the rides had been turned off by the time I got there for the award ceremony at night time. So I had to just go through into the big top, and it was all decked out. 450 people there. Tourism operators from across the state were there. Ben Franklin, the minister responsible, was there. So it was a great event. The Old Dubbo Jail picked up a silver award for cultural tourism, and that's to do with our new display there. I'm sure you guys have been able to see it, which is that whole display around the death row, the inmates on death row. So quite a fascinating display.
New display. I thought he said nudist display.
It's a whole different thing.
That just shows where your mind's at, I think.
Yeah, it is.
Hey, I thought you said that, not me.
You heard what you wanted to hear, I think. But we'll keep that in mind.
The old Dubbo jail.
Yeah.
Nudist display.
I'll take that as feedback that the request we've had is for a nudist display at the old Dubbo jail. So, no, we didn't win anything for nudist display. We did win something for cultural tourism, which was great.
Yeah, nice.
And the zoo also won 2 gold awards. The zoo just picks up awards every time it enters something, I feel.
Yeah.
But they won for major tourist attraction and unique accommodation, so that's fantastic. But the region, you're quite right, we had people from Bathurst and Orange and Mudgee, so people around the region who were also finalists in different categories, and they won some awards. But that's good for the whole region, because when someone comes out to Dubbo, they have to go through places like Mudgee or Bathurst or Orange, so they might do some tourist activity while they're on their way here, or if they come specifically to one of those locations, they might come a bit further out towards Dubbo. So we all like it. In fact, at our table, we had a couple of people from Bathurst there who also won a couple of silver awards. So we really like when other areas around the region go well, because we think that's good for the entire region.
Yes, I couldn't agree with you more. Now, I do have a quick question. What's the council rules about picking up feral animals? Because we have a feral animal that I work with who decided to interfere in a cat's life this morning, got bitten, and I'm just wondering, should he go to prison or the hospital?
Well, the Companion Animals Act is a very controversial act that councils have to deal with. And usually if it was a radio announcer, for example, just picking a random example, that might have randomly interfered with a cat, cats and dogs come under the Companion Animals Act, then normally I would just recommend they report to the police and let them deal with that immediately. It's a pretty serious matter. So if you know of anyone, then
it was a kitten, right?
It's not the wrong thing.
I was going to relocate it to the council, okay? That's what I was going to do with it. But then I realised I had a radio show and didn't know what I was going to do with it for the next 3 hours. And then it went all Wile E. Coyote on me and...
Matho, it's not the wrong thing to dob in a friend, okay? It's not un-Aussie to dob in a friend.
Already done. I feel bad for him because he's frothing at the mouth, and just see what happens.
Is that the cat, or is that the person in question?
This is yesterday.
Thank you so much for your time this morning. I'm going to go get a tetanus shot. I'll see you all around.
Rightio. Thanks, guys.
Mayoral Memo with Matthew Dickinson from Dubbo Regional Council.